Hey, this is RJ May, and you're watching Mr. Mario 2011.
Hey, so what is going on, everyone? It is me, Mr. Mario, and today I'm going to be talking to you all. Unfortunately, I'm not going to have footage right here. I'm going to try and get some if I can. I know there was a little bit that I was able to get from my friend, but today I'm going to be talking to you all about the Oculus Rift, specifically the Oculus Rift Dev Kit 2. I was actually going to record this commentary right after I, played around with it, but I was tired. I just got home. I knew I needed to sleep, and I was wiped from trying this thing. So I figured if I made a commentary, it would have been very rambly and just, all over the place, which my commentaries normally are, but it would have been worse. And people would have probably questioned if I was drunk or not while making it. Although it's kind of amazing that nobody really questions it, with my other commentaries. But hey, maybe that's just me. I don't know. To me, they really sound like jumbled and all over the place. Other people like them, though, and if you all like them, I really appreciate it, and I appreciate the support. And by the way, speaking of support, thank you very much for 10,000 subscribers, you all. I already made a thank you video, but man, y'all are awesome. Anyways, talking about this Oculus Rift. So, I'm not going to be showing any on-screen footage or anything, so this is just going to be a commentary. But I did get to play around with the Oculus Rift Dev Kit 2. One of my good friends who actually lives in this apartment complex, and I knew him from when I was a computer scientist. I was in the computer science major. I switched over to management information systems just because that suited me more, and he is a computer engineer. Before I left, though, back in April, I want to say, he had told me that actually, no, he was asking, I think it was July or August, he was like, hey, so are you going to be here around July or something? And I said, no. He's like, oh, darn, because I'm getting the Oculus Rift. And I was like, what, you're really getting one? He's like, well, it's the Dev Kit 2, which is the new one. Now, I'm going to explain the difference between the Dev Kit 1 and 2. I know there's bigger differences, but these are, the ones that he told me and the striking differences. First off, the Oculus Rift 2, well, the Dev Kit 2, it's not the retail one, the Dev Kit 2 has a 75 Hz refresh rate, while as the Dev Kit 1 has a 60 Hz refresh rate. The Dev Kit 2 is 1080p, while as the Dev Kit 1 is 720p, and the Dev Kit 2 also has a sensor, which looks a lot like a webcam. You can put it anywhere, but he put it on top of his main monitor, and it's supposed to detect, where exactly the Oculus is. So for example, if you want to lean forward or backward, or you want to look to your head, you want to move your head left or right, you're able to do that. So that is one huge thing. So if you're going to get a dev kit, get the dev kit 2. Because, for example, if you're going around, it doesn't sound like that big of a deal until you actually use it. But one huge difference between the dev kit 1 and 2 is that with the dev kit 2, you can literally look around. If I turn my head left, my character looks left. If I turn it right, my character looks right. The dev kit 1, you could only do the controller with that. If I'm not mistaken, excuse me. But so those are the main differences between them. And the Dev Kit 2, it's nice, it's shiny, they have all those big things. And fun fact, if you actually look at the iFixit teardown, the screen in there, I kid you not, the screen in there is essentially a Samsung Note 3, which I thought was hilarious, but it looks great. Now, I will say this, I actually saw the video that Boogie2988 did with the Dev Kit 2, and YouTube videos do not do it justice at all. If you go and watch any Oculus Rift video, you're going to see, it's going to look like there's two ovals. There's a left oval and a right oval, and those are the screens, and they look like they're almost matching. You're going to look at it, and you're going to be like, this doesn't look that good. This looks like crap. What is this? Trust me, YouTube, it looks like crap, all right? If I come over here and show you what I'm looking at on my monitor while I'm using the Oculus, it looks terrible. However, because of how the lenses are constructed and because the device itself, it is just one of those things you have to try yourself to fully experience it. And if you can get everything right, because it was a little bit blurry for me before I adjusted everything properly, because there's a lot of stuff you have to go in and adjust, because, every single person is different, their eyesight, how far apart their eyes are, how big their head is, things like that. You have to take all that into account. But if you can get it set up properly, it's banging. It really is. Now, before I go into the demos and all that I played around with, some people might be asking, should I buy an Oculus Rift? What should I do? Well, first off, there is no retail Oculus Rift out. There is the Dev Kit 1, and there's the Dev Kit 2. I don't know how much the Dev Kit 1 is, but the Dev Kit 2 is about $350, which, in my opinion, is actually a very fair price for this device. However, would you recommend buying it? Unless you're developing, no. Trust me, unless you're, it's a cool novelty item, it's a cool toy, But right now, in 2014, at this moment in time, unless you are a developer or you plan developing for this thing, you do not need to buy it. Because aside from that, you're just going to get frustrated with demos that aren't working, with compatibility issues, and really it's just going to be something for your friends to mess around with. That's about it. But if you're a developer, I would be all on board for it. And if you are wanting to develop, I would highly recommend go out of your way, even if you have to wait a few months, get the Dev Kit 2. Just get the Dev Kit 2, because there are also Dev Kit 1 demos that do not work with the Dev Kit 2, so they have to be ported over to the Dev Kit 2 hardware. However, the Dev Kit 2 is awesome. Just go ahead and get it. And as for the retail Oculus Rift, this has convinced me. I'm probably going to pick up a retail Oculus Rift whenever they are, consumer ready. But until then, I'm not a developer, and I'll be honest, if I had the Oculus Rift with me, I would really only use it every once in a while, and whenever I had friends over to make them dizzy. But aside from that, no, there'd be no reason for me to use it because I'm not a developer. My friend is a big developer, so it's very good that he uses it, and it's even better for me, if I'm looking at selfish practices, because that means I could just walk over to his apartment and try out demos for fun, so I could be his guinea pig with that. Anyways, when it comes to the actual demos themselves, as I said, you have the Dev Kit 1 and the Dev Kit 2 demos. Now, there's very few Dev Kit 2 demos out right now that work properly, and there's not as much support because the Dev Kit 1 has been out for so long, and all those things have to be retooled. But I did a few demos. I did, the standard Oculus demo where you're going through, like, a world and everything, and I will say this, I was going through and, like, it felt like I was a kid again. Really, because it was all new hardware, all new infrastructure, and I was like laughing like I was a kid and everything. It was great. I wish I had reactions of it. I have one video I'm going to try and get from my friend, but I wish I had some reactions of it because probably my best one with other demos, there's some very, very impressive ones. There was the standard house demo. Then there was another one where it was actually like a racer. It was a lot like Wipeout. Imagine Wipeout, but in first person, like you're in the cockpit and you could move your head around. That one was intense, and that one actually made me take off the Oculus, and I was just like, dude, I gotta take a break. Because I'll say this, like, you have this weight on your head, which is actually a lot lighter than I thought it would be. But here's the thing with the Oculus Rift. I noticed whenever I would close my eyes for more than 2 seconds, I would start to get dizzy. And after using it for a bit, because I used it for about an hour, and my friend was laughing because he's like, most people only use it for 10 or 15 minutes, but you got a hang of it really fast, and you used it for about an hour. But I was using it for about an hour, and if you use it for too long when you first use it, you get used to it, but when you first use it, you can get sick to your stomach. There were some of those demos that were just making me sick, even the demos that weren't intense, because my mind was blown at the same time. It's kind of like if you have a 3DS, the first time you ever activate your 3D feature, you're kind of just like, you're acting like a deer in headlights, seeing some headlights, because you're trying to comprehend seeing this 3D image pop out at you without any 3D glasses. And that's a lot like how Oculus is. Like, it's such a simple concept, but my mind was trying to process, holy crap, if I look left, I actually look left. I don't only have to rely on the controller. So it was very awesome how it was set up, but probably my best reaction, I was actually playing an Ocarina of Time rebuilt demo for the DK2, and it was the Kokiri Forest. There's also some mini games that you could play and everything, but it was the Kokiri Forest, and first off, it puts you into perspective. You literally play as a first-person Link, and by first-person Link, I'm talking like Child Link, so that was awesome enough on its own, because I'm 21, it's been a very long time since I've been, childlike height, so you are literally a child. And I will say this, like, at one point my friend was just laughing because I went through the little area, like I crawled in like that little nook and cranny to go and get the sword, the first sword that you get. And I did that, and I see the boulder coming at me, and I just flipped out. I'm like, oh my god, the boulder's coming! So he's just like, he's laughing, he's freaking out. Like, I was freaking out about it because I was not expecting that, but it was amazing. This person, they completely rebuilt the Kokiri Forest from Ocarina of Time. There weren't any NPCs or anything like that there, but just imagine going through the first level of Ocarina of Time in first person. It was amazing. It was astounding. My mind was simply blown at that, and that was probably the best demo I've played. The other ones I played, there was one that was the bus stop from My Neighbor Totoro. I didn't really understand what to do. My friend didn't understand what to do either, and the left side was actually darker than the right side, which really kind of screws you up and messes up your perception. There was the Soot Sprites, there we go. From Spirited Away, there was actually somebody redid the whole boiler room scene in there. So you see the guy with all the arms and everything, and you see all the Soot Sprites going in and out. That was great as well. I already mentioned the demo, the Wipeout one, and there was another one where it was actually a retail game. You can pick this up on Steam. It's called Awe for the Awesome, and it is a game where you have to fall, really. So that was intense on the Oculus. And actually, my friend recorded me doing some of that, but I didn't really react to it because I was so focused on what I had to do, so I was quite quiet while doing it. Now, I actually just had my friend send me the reaction footage that he was able to secretly record of me while I was in Awe for the Awesome. Now, I will say it's not the most entertaining footage just because you don't see what I'm actually doing, and I'm mostly quiet during this demo because this is the last demo I had, so I was pretty tired, but also I was really focusing in on what I was trying to do. So that was the only one where I was really quiet, but I'll try and cut in the entertaining parts and everything. And also, I'm just going to say this, the part where I'm standing up, he actually told me that he was recording that because he was kind of hoping but not hoping at the same time that he could record me falling back, because there were several times where he thought like it looked like I was going to fall back. So he was saying maybe he could get like 1 million video views of it, but no, that didn't happen. So thankfully I didn't fall back with this.
Oh, we should have had you stand up.
Here, shoot against the void. Try to steer yourself. No. Ah, I completely missed. Oh my god. Ooh, that's sickening.
Falling?
Yeah, like because like at one point like if you miss the thing, like all these things starts like just like floating around.
Oh.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, the falling aspect is fantastic. Yeah, I'd rather do this as opposed to actually skydiving.
Yeah. I feel like this is this is safer obviously, but doing what you do in that game in real life is probably significantly dangerous.
And I landed, but I can't like get into that little circle, which kind of sucks.
Huh?
Oh, there's like a circle that I have to get into. You
Oh.
don't have to, but it's sprintering to get into it, Oh god. Oh. Let's do that again.
Jeez.
Like you feel like in your legs too. Like this is crazy.
Yeah.
Anything's a possibility.
Mm-hmm. But it's good now. You have a lot more slack. You can actually back up a little bit if you want to, too.
No, I'm fine right here.
Does this one have head tracking?
Ooh. Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, now let's see if I can just get to the bottom. If I could, that'd be awesome. Oh, what? No! Bullshit! There's no way I landed between two buildings. Alright. Oh, that's pretty awesome.
But aside from that, it was all great. It was all great. Like I don't have a bad thing to say about the Oculus Rift. I really don't. I mean, if you want my advice, as I said, if you want to pick it up, if you're not developing and you don't want to develop and you don't plan on it, wait for the retail version whenever that comes out. If you do want to develop and you want to play around with it, get the DK2. Even if you have to wait, even if you have to spend more, it's about $350. Go ahead and get it. And as for VR itself, it is awesome, you all. This is the next frontier. It really is. This is the future. Like, I even told my friend, I said I was getting like a Sword Art Online type feel. In case you don't know, Sword Art Online is an anime I really, really enjoy. And if you all have Netflix, I recommend checking out at least a few episodes. But you have this game that you play called Sword Art Online, and you have this full dive VR experience. And what I mean by that is you have to lay down in your bed and you put on a thing that is a lot like the Oculus Rift, except it goes all over your head. And then you link in and it pretty much like paralyzes your body, but then you have a full dive immersion in this game. So you could use, you don't have to use a controller or anything. Everything is controlled with your mind. And I felt almost like that's what it was, even though I was using a controller. And I got that first experience when I was in that world. I was in that first demo. And then I took off the Oculus. And all of a sudden, I was back, in a poorly lit room in front of my friend's monitors. And I even told him, I'm just like, dude, I feel like I just like snapped back to reality. This is like some sword art stuff here, and he was laughing about it, but I was like, no, really, like, I'm in like this beautiful world right here, and then I take off the Oculus, and I'm in front of your monitors again. Like, that experience was just surreal. It was. The Oculus Rift is awesome, you all. Now, Project Morpheus, I know people are going to ask, what is my opinion on Project Morpheus? I need to look into it more, and more specifically, I would like to actually try it out. But I'll say this, VR is awesome if done right, and the Oculus is going to be well worth it. And by the way, it was acquired, Oculus, the company, was acquired by Facebook, but we were not asked to sign into our Facebook accounts with the Oculus Rift. So, thought I'd throw that in there. Anyways, this is Mr. Mario, signing off. Thank you for watching, everyone. I appreciate you all listening, and hopefully this helped you all out, getting a better experience of, the idea and gripping to the fathoming cause, I guess you could say, of the Oculus Rift. Anyway, signing off for real this time. Later, everyone.